everybody! Today we're going to start a new theme. It's about transportation, and you will learn to talk about how to get around and use I go by. For instance, I go by bike, I go by car correctly, and use the words bus, plane, boat, underground, tram, on foot, walk, cycle, to rent, and buy. Okay. Oops.
Hi, I'm Macy. In the Netherlands, we cycle a lot. I often go to school by bike. Sometimes I walk to school. I like to go on foot. But when it rains, I go by bus. Today I cycle because the weather is nice. To get to the other side of the river, I take the boat. I also travel by tram. Or by underground. When we go on holiday, we can go by plane. The airport is nearby. So that's how I get around. Have a great day. See you next time.
Yeah, too bad we can't take the plane right now because of Corona. But let's see what the other video tells us.
Hello, here are the words of this lesson. Please repeat them after me. I go to school by bus. Plane. I go on holiday by plane. Boat. He goes by boat. Tram. She goes by tram. Underground. I travel by underground. Walk. I walk to school. On foot. I go on foot. Cycle. I cycle to school. To rent. It's easy to rent a bike at the station.
Bus, plane, boat, underground, tram, on foot, walk, cycle, to rent, buy, car, bike, train, I go to school by bike. I go to school by car. I go to school on foot. I walk to school. I cycle to school. When I go on holiday, I go by plane. When I go on holiday, I go by boat.
So now you're going to put the right words on the Macy's ways of getting around. So what's Macy's doing? I go by, what's she doing here? She goes by bike. So you'll place the bike, yeah. And you'll do the other, you choose boat, bus, car, on foot, plane, tram, and underground. Listening text, so listen carefully.
1. In the summer, I walk to school. 2. If it is warm, I like to cycle to school. 3. In the winter, I buy a bus ticket and go to school by bus. 4. Sometimes I go to town by tram. 5. When we go on holiday, we rent a boat. 6. When we go to France on holiday, we go by plane.
Okay, now you listen again and you fill in the right number.
1. In the summer, I walk to school. 2. If it is warm, I like to cycle to school. 3. In the winter, I buy a bus ticket and go to school by bus. 4. Sometimes I go to town by tram. 5. When we go on holiday, we rent a boat. 6. When we go to France on holiday, we go by plane.
Okay, one more time.
1. In the summer, I walk to school. 2. If it is warm, I like to cycle to school. 3. In the winter, I buy a bus ticket and go to school by bus. 4. Sometimes I go to town by tram. 5. When we go on holiday, we rent a boat. 6. When we go to France on holiday, we go by plane.
Okay, the right answers are 1, on foot, 2, cycle, 3, bus ticket by bus, 4, go to town by tram, 5, rent a boat, and 6, go on holiday to France by plane. Okay. You're going to follow the means of transport by drawing a line. So all the transportation you'll follow. So you go bus, then you can choose rainbow or train. Well, you can travel by train. Then you have to choose between neck or underground. So you go this way, underground. And that's how you will go further. So is it a means of transportation or something else? Sorry, the touchscreen doesn't work. So if you use the mouse and it takes some time. Okay. What is the correct answer? You can do this alone. Can you go by bus alone, by plane alone, or walk alone? Well, there are more people in the bus and in the plane, so it's walk. You travel through the clouds. The clouds. Is that in a boat? Is it in a plane? Or in the underground? Well, clouds in Dutch is wolken. Wolken you don't see around you. You go through them. So in a boat you don't go through the clouds. In a plane or in the underground? Well, in a plane you go through the clouds. You don't need a ticket. Do not need a ticket. Is it in a bus, in a car, or in a tram? Well, right now we don't really have tickets. It's more like cards, but you don't use them in a car. You move on 2 wheels. Cycle, go by train, or go on foot. If you cycle, you use 2 wheels. You can rent one, a bike, a tram, or an underground. Well, if you got money enough, you probably can rent them all, but the logic one is a bike. Okay. Here it says work in pairs. You can't do that. So you can ask somebody at your house how they get around. So for instance, your mom, does she walk often or go by car or on her bike? Ask how she goes around, or maybe a brother, sister, neighbor. Okay, you will fill in your workbook, lesson 1, and then you can fill in, if you can talk about how I get around, I go by. So for instance, you say I go by car, or I go by bike, I go on foot, I go by train, and use the words of this lesson. I think a lot of you already knew most of the words. I think you knew words like car, train, stuff like that. Okay, good luck. Bye bye.